루저 외톨이 센 척하는 겁쟁이 못된 양아치 거울 속에
난 오늘 그대에게 할 말이 너무나 많아요. 부디 내 얘길 들어줄 수 있나요? 그대 혹시 있나요? 내가 들어갈 수 있는 곳 있네. 오직 그대와 나 단둘이서만.
Hey, it's Sunday and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. So today I'm going to be telling you about the top 5 things that I loved and hated about living in Korea and why I left. I was living and working in South Korea in Seoul for 1 year. Y'all, girl, do you got your popcorn? Because it's going to be a long one. Oh, I'll wait. Get the popcorn, y'all. It's going to be a story. Everyone has been asking for this video, and it's just so much that I need to say that I just could not possibly imagine filming it. Just to give you a backstory, I was super duper interested in Asian culture. I always have been, specifically Japan and then Korea. I had been studying Korean for a really long time, so I knew I was going to Asia right after university. At one point, my entire room was filled with like these little colored sticky notes. Like every time I would learn a word or a phrase, I would just like put it up on my wall so I could see it and like learn. I was so freaking motivated. So I started job hunting, and I am very glad that I turned down the first couple of jobs that I got, because I was initially trying to get into the public school sector, and I'm really glad that I went the private way because I got a much better job offer. So I was working in Korea as a spokesmodel, a English language division school director for the entire nation, and an instructor. Let me just get into the things that I loved and I hated. I'm going to start with the stuff that I hated so that hopefully by the end of the video, you won't hate me.
Disclaimer.
Guys, number one, if you're not black or you've never lived there, please don't like come and attack me, because this is my personal experience. This is just what I went through and I'm just telling y'all, okay? Also, Koreans out there, y'all know I freaking love y'all. I still love y'all. I always will. So if I say something negative, it's just like the experience that I had at the time. Okay, let's just get into it. I'm gonna start with like the smallest thing and work my way up. One thing that I did not like was obviously the winter. I come from California. What the? It is freezing in winter. And when it snows, it's not like snow. It's like slushies, like 7-Eleven slushies. My family came and visited in like winter and we went snowboarding. They ended up leaving early because they were like, it's too cold. Really? If you are not keen on the cold weather, you're gonna struggle, girl. The next thing that I didn't like was that there was a huge lack of nature in the city. I am a country girl, so this isn't really a bad part about Korea. I think any city that I went to, I was gonna feel like this, but I found myself feeling a little stressed and there's nowhere to see the green. So a lot of times I would walk over to Han River and just do like a picnic and just spend like all of my time there. Third thing that I didn't like, which is kind of crazy because it's also on my love list, the food. I know, weird, right? It's like I said, it's also on my love list. But when I'm working in the city, I worked in Jongno, and around Jongno, it's like not many options for healthy food, especially if you're eating by yourself. My lunch break is really short. I don't have much time. When I would go out to eat, there was no protein. I know that's weird. Usually it's like noodles or a lot of rice, but as far as getting like a good helping of protein, a nice helping of meat, that just was not available. There'd be like kimbap or street food, ramen,
Cheese ramen,
tteokbokki, bibimbap. A lot of these things didn't have a lot of protein in them, and I found myself gaining so much freaking weight. And you think like, oh, Korean land at the barbecue. No, walk into a barbecue shop by yourself, they will reject you and they'll tell you like it's not enough people. I understand, because it's like a lot to operate the barbecue, get the coal and all that stuff. A lot of places would like turn me down, and a lot of places weren't even open during lunchtime. So yeah, just getting like a well-balanced meal during lunchtime around the city was actually kind of difficult, like in the business areas. So these next two are the main reasons why I left Korea. I was dying. I was so freaking sick sick. Every day, all day, different sicknesses. I was dying, guys, dying. I've never had pimples in my entire life, but all of a sudden when I moved to Korea, my face broke out so bad. I looked horrible. And obviously I'm working there as a model. So much stress was associated with this problem. It was crazy. Still to this day, I'm like trying to get rid of the acne scars. It was horrible. I had the acne under control finally after so many years, but the spots are still there. I had a stomach problem that I won't go into detail with, that I kind of still suffer from, which sucks. Yes, they have a great healthcare system, super duper cheap, but like it's like,
Oh my god.
there are so many bad people within the medical field. It's ridiculous. And like for dentists as well. I go to the doctor and she's like,
Yes, you need to take 2 weeks of this medicine consecutively.
what does she do? She gives me 3 days of the medicine. I'm like, why would you give me 3 days if you know I need 2 weeks of medication? She's like,
Oh, just come back and we'll see how you feel.
you know how I'm gonna feel because I need 2 weeks to cure the problem. And so I had to come back every 3 days to get a refill on my prescription. And every time I come back, I have to pay for a new consultation. So it was just like really
Stupid.
On top of that, I was having just a skin problem all over my body, not just my face. It took so long to figure out the skin problem was from a combination of my hormones and the water in my apartment. Now, I got a really nice luxury apartment. It was so freaking expensive, but I was like, YOLO. I want to live in a nice place. The water in the building turned out to be bad. I can't really explain to you all the details. I don't know, they did some kind of like
Test stripping and strip testing. I really don't know.
It wasn't until I had some guests come over, like one guest came over and he was like, I don't know why, but the water in your bathroom like made my skin really dry. And I'm like, oh, that's strange, you know, oh, whatever. And then my sister came over and I think she washed her hair and she was like, the water in your shower made my hair so freaking dried out. And then I was like, the water. Like my chest was breaking out, my back was breaking out. It's kind of weird. And so for like the last, I want to say 3 or 4 months until I left, I was showering with boiled bottled water. This was so inconvenient and so irritating, especially when it's cold. So yeah, but my skin like cleared up like instantly. That's how I knew it was the water. Going to the dentist, I'm not gonna get into all of this, but your girl was sick. I chipped a tooth, like to this day my tooth was messed up. Hold on.
Oh hell no!
Scratched the junk out of my back. It's all scarred up now. Finally, the number one reason I left. Guys, try to be understanding about this, please. This is like hard to say. This is why I didn't want to make this video. I experienced a ridiculous amount of racism. A lot of the people were discriminating against anyone darker. It wasn't just black people. It was even like dark Koreans would get bullied and made fun of. Like anyone with darker skin, basically. My expectations were so high. I was so excited. So basically anything negative would have made me feel like 20 times worse. Fresh off the plane, y'all. Within the first week, I'm pretty sure it was like the first day or the second day. Y'all. I'm like scouting for apartments and I'm walking down the street. I'm not doing anything bad. I'm not acting ratchet. I have on normal clothes. I'm not talking to anybody. I'm not being loud. I'm not doing nothing. I'm minding my own business. I'm walking down the street and there's these 2 guys. They're on the other end of the sidewalk and I see that he's looking at me really, really ugly. He's like looking at me like up and down. He's like, I was like, whatever, like I've been getting these kind of looks like since I got here, so like whatever, but this one was like really strong. And then I noticed that we're no longer walking like this. He's kind of like swerving towards me to go in front of me, and I'm like, oh, maybe he's gonna ask me something. He's gonna ask me something. These 2 guys, he gets in front of me. He looks me up and down with the ugliest look possible. He stops. He hawks up a loogie. And he spit on my shirt.
Oh hell no!
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Oh hell no!
I am not joking. I usually exaggerate everything, but I swear I'm not exaggerating. At this point, I was so shocked that I was in denial. I was like, there's no way this guy just spit on me. He was trying to spit on the sidewalk and he just missed. There's no way. And I'm like just standing there like looking at my shirt for like the longest time and he's already like gone. And I kept like trying to convince myself he was not trying to spit on you. But yeah, no, there's just no way. There are just like countless stories similar to that one about like racist things that I had experienced. And really, I don't care, you know, because like we dealt like with this type of stuff in America. But this type of racism like hurt my feelings. Like it just sucked walking around and getting those type of looks, or just knowing that you're somewhere where you're not wanted. it really like hurt my feelings in a way. It made me feel sad, not angry, just sad. It was just like, why do you hate me? You don't even know me. Like, why do you hate me? Like, so many people hating you, that's just such an ugly feeling. So like the atmosphere of living there was just bad for me, and I really wanted to leave. Like, I would be on the train and it'll be packed, and I'm not joking, there'll be a seat next to me on both sides, and like no one would want to sit next to me. It seriously sucked. And a few times, but the biggest time, like this guy, he just came up to me and he's just like going off on the train, like, go back to your country, why are you here? I'm not joking. And nobody on the train did anything. I actually had to like exit the train and just wait for the next one because it was just like crazy, and I didn't even say anything, I just stood there. But like, don't be confused, there were also so many amazing people, and a lot of the like discrimination and racism that I felt was always from the older generation. I had no problem with the younger people, it was the older people. And I have countless stories, y'all, countless. Now, the discrimination and the next one kind of go, no, there's 3 of them. Oh god, they kind of all go together, I'm sorry. Korea is a very superficial country, and you would be stupid to say it's not, where almost every female goes to get freaking plastic surgery to all look the same. Like, it's real out there. Everybody is on their A game. It's common to look really nice. Like, I never seen anybody walking around in their pajamas. Like, I can't even go take out the trash looking a hot mess. I would feel bad. Everybody like really focuses on looking good, or at least looking presentable, which is fine, but it was like a lot of pressure as a model. Like, I knew I had to look good all the time. Like, I could not come to work just busted. I could not. There was no, ooh, messy bun day. No, go fix that junk. You look a mess. And finally, the last one was like, a lot of people in like public areas were very, very rude. I'm in another country, so I'm totally fine with this. Like, I can adjust, but it gets on your nerves a bit. And this was like angry. This wasn't sad, this was angry. I mean, I had some dude like both hands on my back push me off of the train. I am not exaggerating. Invasion of your personal space. Like, I don't care if you do rude things, just it shouldn't affect me. When it affects me, especially touching me, that's when we have a problem. I remember I'm in like this narrow corridor trying to go out of the door. I have all of these groceries in my hand. I'm not walking slow. I'm not walking slow. There's no space for anyone else to get by. This man pushes me out of the way to go through the door. He opens the door, and it's like one of those swingy doors, and the door slams back in my face, so I had to like jump back, and I dropped all my groceries. And I'm just like,
Boy, if you don't get
why? Those type of things like will start to irritate the poop out of you. It's kind of a combination of these type of people, the discrimination, and me being sick is the reason why I left. Don't get it twisted, I had so many Korean friends, I met so many awesome people. There were countless amazing people, some of the best friends I've ever met in my entire life. Y'all probably know Korean boys are still my favorite type of boys. There are good people, there are bad people in every freaking place, but that's just why I was out. Okay, let's get into the good things. Finally! So many good points, and these are not in order. I'll just like list them off. So number 1, let's just say the food. Oh my god, I know this is on my bad list, but it's also on my good list. There is so much delicious food to eat in Korea. My favorite had to be mulnaengmyeon, which is like Korean cold noodles. Funny thing is, I hated this when I came to Korea, and then by the time I left, it turned into my favorite food. So yeah, and there are so many fun places to go eat, like I think it's called Noryeonjin, I really don't remember, the fish market, Myeongdong. And the best part is it's so freaking cheap. Holy poop, all the street food is like mega cheap. Exploring all the like different foods is just like heaven for any foodie. Next, I'm gonna say the boys, but if there are boys watching this video, just skip over this. I don't know, I like me a good Korean man. I don't know, it's just a great mix of like Asian culture and still can understand African American culture. It's a great mix. For example, Japanese men have absolutely no idea of African American culture, probably don't listen to rap music, they don't even know what BT is, none of that stuff. But like Korean was just like a really good mix for me. Like they were aware. I didn't have to tell them this is a weave. They know it's a weave. That's a weird thing to say, but it's just my honest opinion. Next good point was that there is English everywhere. As a foreigner, you will be very comfortable living here, especially if you're in Seoul. If you're anywhere else, sorry, I cannot vouch for anywhere else in Korea. I'm just talking about Seoul. So in Seoul, there's English signs everywhere. The bank can speak English, like the gas company can speak English, the phone company can speak English. Like in Japan, these places don't speak English. Even if it's not in English, I highly recommend that you learn at least like reading Korean, because a lot of words in Korean are actually like English words, like cheese, or hamburger or something like that. If you can read, you'll be able to like understand a lot more. Coffee. The next thing that I loved was my job. I freaking love my job. I have nothing bad to say about my job. If you Google me, you'll be able to figure out where I work easily, but I don't think I'm actually allowed to say it. Either way, yeah, I was a model, I was a school director, I was an instructor. The building was amazing. It was such good atmosphere. The students were so amazing. I loved the material. I love all the freedom that they gave me to kind of do whatever I wanted. I got to work with like other celebrities. I got to work with the CEO. It was just really, really comfortable, and the pay, y'all. The girl was rich over there. I was making so much freaking money. You can understand how big those two things that bothered me were to make me leave. When you say like money controls everything, it really doesn't, because I was out. I didn't care how much money I was making. I was gonna leave. Loved my job so much. I am sad that I had to leave it because it was, I have no complaints about my company. Zero. Finally, the last thing that I loved about Korea was it's so much fun. Holy poop. Korea is lit. I lived in Shincheon, which is like near two of the famous universities. I think it's Ewha Women University and Yonsei University, and then it's one stop away from Hongdae. It was every day, any day, it was cracking. Definitely recommend Korea for younger people that want to move abroad somewhere in Asia. Japan is more for the cultured, the more mature, the more laid back type of people, but Korea is just straight fun. Parties, people, bars, drinking, dating, movies, events. Like one day they even turned my entire neighborhood into a giant slip and slide. It's super easy to make friends and like, or even a dating partner if you want. I have so many good memories. Oh. So yeah, if you are looking to have fun, you are like young and you have a lot of energy, definitely go to Korea. That's it, y'all. There's still so much that I need to say, but I'm not gonna, because this video will be so freaking long. So yeah, I will say overall, I freaking love the memory of living. If you are trying to move there to work, I definitely do recommend it. If you are brown, just have the expectation that some people might not like you and you might run into some difficulties, but I think we have this type of problem all over the world. I will say that I don't have this problem like that in Japan. So I hope that was helpful, and I hope nobody got offended. That is just my personal experiences, and I know it's really hard to understand when you're not black, because you're like, how can anybody do that? Nobody does that. But when you're not black, you can't actually see anyone doing these things. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down below. I will be making more videos like comparing living in Japan and living in Korea. If you guys are interested in that, let me know. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, like, and subscribe so I can make more videos. And yeah, see you guys next time.